Okay, welcome to the first lesson. In this lesson, we are going to download Blender 5. So for this, first you have to open your favorite browser and just go to the address blender.org. And as you see, just as you launch the website, you can see the Blender 5 is here. And just click on the download, you can download the Blender 5. And before I continue to download the Blender 5, first thing I want to show you something. Just click on the download, and from here if you click on the LTS, let's say if you have a low laptop or low specs system, you can download any previous version of the Blender. As you can see, Blender 4.5 LTS and till 2.93 LTS. And if you want to download any previous version of Blender, just click on the previous version of Blender, just click on download any Blender version, and from here all the way you find the Blender 1 to Blender 5. But as this course is solely based on Blender 5, just click on the download, and from here download, click on download, and it is asked you for donation. If you want to donate something, you can go ahead, otherwise just click on the download and just wait for the finish. And once the download is complete, we will install the Blender and then we will proceed further. Okay, now the Blender is downloaded. Now just click on the open and just install the Blender. I suggest you that you should have SSD hard drive. So if you did not have any dedicated graphic card, then the hard drive will support you in fast processing of Blender. Otherwise, I recommend that you have at least 2 GB SSD, at least 2 GB dedicated graphic card. So just from here you can click on where you want to install the Blender. So I will leave it is default. Just click on next, and once the setup is finished, we will launch the Blender 5 in next lecture, and just wait for the complete installation of Blender. I hope you have installed the Blender successfully, and now you can also launch the Blender on your own. Otherwise, see you in next lecture and we will continue from there. See you in next lecture. Welcome back. I hope you have installed the Blender correctly. Just click on the launch button, and as you launch the Blender first time, and if you have used any previous version of Blender, as I have used previous version of Blender 4.5, so you can import all the preferences which you have set in previous version. You can simply just click on the import from there to here. Otherwise, if you are just install one version of Blender, let's say in our cases we have installed 5, so you can select here the language you want, the interface of your Blender, English. You can also select the theme, you can select, so for this I will use the dark. You can also set the key map if you want to industry compatible key map like Autodesk Maya, 3ds Max or Cinema 4D. You can select the industry compatible. Just for this I also select the Blender. And the most important option, if you want to select the an object in Blender, so what key mouse key you want to use, I just use left, and just click on the save preferences. And this is the splash screen. You can also see the splash screen from here. Just click on the Blender logo and just click on splash screen, and here you will find all the, if you want to create new file, general, 2D animation, sculpting, and any the feature Blender provided us, you will found it here. You can also found it from here, new to these. Next thing, as we create our project, our recent project will be appear here. So for this I just leave it, and from here just I want to show you how Blender. I assume you have at least basic knowledge of computer and also the basic knowledge of how to move around in a 3D software. And just for a quick note, first thing, before we proceed forward, I want you to download some add-ons. So just click on your browser, and the first add-on I want you to install in your Blender, Loop Tools. So just click on the link I have provided you in description, and you can also download extension.blender.org, and from there you can search loop tools and the loop tools are appear. Just click on the get add-on and just select, hold and drag, and just go to Blender and click leave here. It will ask you to the online access. It's mean that your computer is connected to internet. Just click on online access and just from go system and allow online access and just close it. Now go to the drag. There you go. You can just go to edit and preferences and just go to add-ons, and if I search here loop tools, our loop tools have been installed. Next thing that I want you install extra mesh object. Just click add-on, just drag and install the extra object. What are these objects? If just I go to the add, and from here if I click the add, and from here I can see different mesh objects. But if this add-on is not installed, just go to, just I uncheck it, and if I just go to add, from here you can see the minimum, lower minimum objects. So just for this click on the extra object. Okay, now how we can move another plugin which is screencast, and I just want to install. If you want to install these, it's okay. If you did not want to install these, it is also fine, because it is on this plugin solely for me. So what I ever do, screencast keys, and from just here I go to screencast keys, and just from here whichever function I perform, it will be appear here. So I just want to change the color of this just a little bit. I think green is okay. And if I want to increase the font, so you can also see margin thickness from here. I think it is okay for now. So any key which I have pressed will be appear here. Now how we can move in Blender, or you can pan around or moving around Blender. So for this you have to understand few things. First thing, as we are living in a world, so I would call it a world world, and this world have some properties. So I divide these properties into three. The first one is pan. So pan mean changing position. So you can define this term on your own, but I would call it pan. So as you can see, this is the word, and I am moving or rotating along the word. But if you see, these are the objects in word which are placed in a certain position in word. But if I want to move or rotate around these objects in Blender, how we can do this operation? So for this, you just hold down the middle mouse button and just rotate around. This is called orbit or rotate. Now if I want to pan in word, let's see, this is an object and another object, just I would say another object is placed here, and that object is out of our scope. So I want to move that object. So for this we have to use the pan property. So for pan, hold down the middle mouse button and now press shift, and just first you have hold down the shift, then press middle mouse button, you can pan around the word. And last thing, if we want to zoom in zoom out in word, just you can use mouse wheel. Perfect. So these are the properties a word contain: pan, orbit, and the zoom in zoom out. Other thing which we have seen, that in a word there are certain objects are placed, as you can see. So if I want to move this object, so again, as the word contain three properties, the object also contain three properties. The first one is the position, or you can also say the location. So if I select this, and here you can see different tools, I will go through only these three tools. Just I want you just select this tool, move, or you can also use the shortcut. But for time being, as I assume that you did not have Blender knowledge, so you can just select on this, and here you can see three different arrows. I assumed you have a little bit knowledge of geometry. So this is the x-axis, so I can move along the x-axis. We will also discover further, go deep dive into this. Just for time being, you just understand. If I select this arrow, I can move the object. The position, you can see the location or position of our object is changed. You can also go from here, or you can press the shortcut key N. Here you can see N. I can hide, unhide this, and you can see here the location of one object is changed. Another property is the rotation. I can also rotate the object. And the third thing is I can also increase or decrease the size of object. So here we have found the three properties of our word. Also we just we see different properties of our object, as object contain three properties, and also the word also contain three properties. And just one more thing, how this object is made of, we will see this in next lecture. So see you in next lecture. Welcome back. As in previous lecture we discussed the pan, orbit, zoom in, zoom out, and also we see the position, rotation, and scale of the object. Now next thing, before we start our sculpting of our little bat, So just one thing I want you show, that we see this is our world, our 3D space, and in 3D space there are some objects which contain its own position, rotation or scale. But our world is also, you can see, we can pan, rotate and zoom in, zoom out in our world. Now we will see that how our object is made of. This is the simple. If we think about of ourselves as a human being, how we made of, we will see ourselves we made of bones, muscles and cells, different things. And we also have to see how this object is made of. So for this, as you see, we are in object mode, and in object mode it considered as a whole single one object. Now if just I go to edit mode or simply press tab, just press tab, we will enter the edit mode. And remember, in edit mode we only deal with a single object. We did not select these objects until and unless these objects are not connected. So here you can see, just I press tab, there are, and now press, these are the dots, black dots. You can simply see the dot, and you can also see here these dot are called vertices. Single is called vertex, and if we select multiple, these are called vertices. And we can also see there are certain operations, more options for the objects have been appeared here. But if you see, the three, they move, rotate and scale are also there. So these are our vertices. If I select the vertex and press G, or just press this one, I can move the single vertex. So if just I go to here and press shortcut key 2, just press 1, it switch into vertex, and press 2, it switch into edge. So here is an edge, so I can also select the edge. So I think you have got the idea how different infrastructures you see in Blender, how different houses, different architecture, visual products, animation perform in Blender. You can now get the idea. And other thing is the face, so you can also move the face here. So you can say how our object is made of. Our single object is made of three entities. The single one is vertex, so we can also change the position, rotation and scale of our vertex. So the whole principle of position, rotation, scale, whether it is in animation, in rigging, in, you can say, in texturing, these are the basically are the coordinates which we shift or change. So when two or more vertices are combined, it create an edge. And we can also change the position, rotation and scale of our edge. And when three or more edges meet, the thing that is made of is called face. So I think you just, as a beginner, if you understand these three, collectively nine properties of 3D space, you can easily create anything you want. Just, and this is a word, and in word there are different objects are placed. The word has three properties, that is called pan, orbit and zoom in, zoom out. And in word there are different objects, and we can change the position, the rotation and the scale of our object. And that object is made of vertex, different edges and different faces. So I hope you have got the idea which I want you to understand. So now if I want to just go to object mode and I want to select all these objects, just press A and press delete button. You can delete all the objects. You can also go to from here collection, just delete. And now the real thing which we are going to sculpt our bat is we will do in next lecture. But before we are moving to next lecture, I want you to set or arrange all these things. This is called if you see this is called 3D cursor. You can also found it here. And if now you can just if you select this, you can place it anywhere you want. And if it is not selected and you want to place 3D cursor, you have to press shift, now right mouse button. Here you can see the right mouse button, and it is you want to place the 3D cursor where you want, ever you want. And if you want to place it in origin, so I think you have studied the geometry, and we will call it XYZ planar Cartesian product. And if I just want to go, and in your childhood you study, this is called the origin, and at origin the value of x, y and z is 0, and this is called the positive x-axis, and this is called the negative x-axis. This is called the positive y-axis, and this is called the negative y-axis, and this is called z, and positive z and negative z. So now if I just place an object, and if you see the our 3D cursor is here, if I add an object, just cube, so wherever is our 3D cursor, the object is placed there. So I want to place the object in center. So for this I have to press, if I want to move it the cursor to origin, at origin you see the value is 0 0. So for this you have to either press shift S, you can see different option. If you press shift S, you see the different objects, and cursor to selected, and selection to cursor, cursor to grid, cursor to world origin. So our cursor is now in the world region. And if you just use a simple shortcut, you can press shift C and it go to the center to origin. Now just press delete. Now I want to place an object. So here I will not use add, I use a shortcut key, and that is if I press shift A, and you can see the different of object you can add from here. And just I want to place a cube. So you can see our cube. Now here you only find two axes, and in some cases the if we see our original axis, so we saw the y-axis is at upward, but in Blender it is not the case. It is the z-axis which is the upward, and y-axis is here. And just if I go to here, just here, if I just select the z, and our z-axis is also appear. Now if I go to item, here I can see the different values of our x-axis, y-axis, and just I move, and if I move along, you can see our value is negative, that x is here is x negative. And just if we move to here, and similarly from for right and z, and for up and down. So I suggest you just play it, move along, and in next lecture we will start the sculpting of our bat. So see you in next lecture. Welcome back. In this lecture we will start sculpting our the bat. So for this just you make sure that your cursor is in center, and if it is not, just press shift C and it will be in the origin. Now next thing, press Shift A and just go to mesh object. Make sure your extra mesh object, just go to here, extra mesh object add-on is on, and just press Shift A, and just from here just go to the round cube and place it here, and from here just change the properties from arc 8 to 75. Okay, now just you done the first thing. Now we are going to, in sculpt mode, you just can go to the press the sculpt mode. From here you see the different objects and our layout again. Either you can also press the control plus tab, and from here if you see the different pie menu, from here you can select the sculpt mode or press simply 2, so it will convert into sculpt mode. Next thing, here you can see the user perspective. This is the perspective camera. If I want to go different camera modes, so for this I have, if I press the 1 on numpad, it will go to front orthographic. If I press 3, it go to right. If I press 7, it go to top, and if I press 9, it go to bottom. Front, and as you can see, front, the opposite of front is back. If I want to go to back, so for this I hold down the control, and if I press now 1, it go to the back orthographic. So you can understand if I press 3, it go to in right orthographic, and if I hold down control and press 3, it go to left orthographic. Now if I go to the user perspective mode, so for this I have to press numpad 5, and from here I can see the left perspective and a little bit direction, and if I just press the mouse button, it will move again, change into the user perspective. Now if I press 1, it is convert into the front orthographic. From here we will start the sculpting of our face, draw the eyes of our bat. So for this, here you can see the strength and the size of brush, and before, as we see a human or any quadruped, so the nature has made up of the symmetrical process, as if the eyes of the location of my eyes, if I divide my face in half, so it use a symmetrical process. So for this I use the X symmetry, and here you can see different objects. So this is the basically center I just, and from here to just symmetrical. So just go to a few step back and just control and F2 and more, and from here just turn on the symmetry, and from here just select the blob brush, and now increase the size of brush. Hold down, press F, you can change the size of brush. Now just from here to just from here, so I want to create eyes, and if you use Photoshop, we use the mask system. So for this I just press M. If I press M, and here you can see I am creating the mask. So just press Ctrl Z, and if I just a little bit decrease the size of our brush, and it's still okay. Now I just a little bit zoom, and now I want to create eyes for my bat. Perfect. So what next thing I am going to do, I want to invert this mask, that this mask is converted to the whole white area of body, and the whole white body turned into black. For this just press Ctrl I, and it will invert the mask. Just as we have selected the blob brush, just click on the blob brush, and from here just create the eyes. Is you see the eyes are created, but I want to invert this operation. So for this, just press Ctrl Z. Now hold down the control and just create the eyes, just as you create the, make a little depth. You can also change the strength of the brush. So 0.5 is, I think, is okay. Just press Ctrl Z a little bit. Now just move around, and here you can see I just press Ctrl Z a little bit. If you want to smooth these, you can also use press Shift S, or you can also go from just select the smooth brush and just smooth these things. So you can smooth this. Perfect. So here you can see the base for the eyes of our bat is created. Now just press Ctrl and tab and press 4, go to the object mode. Okay, now we are going to place the eye socket for our bat. So for this, just I go to press Shift A, and from here just create a UV sphere, and here you can see the UV sphere is placed. Now press tab, go to edit mode. Make sure your UV sphere is selected, not your round cube. If accidentally you deselect it, just select the sphere and in tab mode, and if you want to select the as a whole, simply press A, you can select this. Now just I want to decrease the size, so now just press S to scale the object. As you can see, our object is within the round cube. So if I want to see that, just go to the X-ray mode. So from here you can see the X-ray mode, and now press select and just press it to move it here, and press 7 to top view, and just bring it to press G and bring it to outward. Press 1. Now go to front mode, and if just, and from here. Now next thing, I want to the, as you can see, our eyes contain pupils, so I just want to rotate this. Now press R and just rotate it to rotate it here, just like. Now press again R, and if you want to rotate into Z axis, press Z, and here you can see I just want to rotate it the outward of. Now press 1 to see the results. Now press 3 and just turn on the X-ray mode, just little bit bring it to the backward. Now press G and then press Y to just little just press G then Y little bit to the inward, and I think we made some mistake. No, it's okay. Okay, perfect. Again, if you want to move it, I still think it is in the press G and Y and just, now it's okay. Now again just press R and Z to bring it toward the outward. You will see what I want to show. Now press 1 or go to vertex mode and just select these vertices, and before we do that, just press Ctrl A, and I want to create a modifier, and just go to modifier and press the mirror modifier, and here you can see the symmetrical or mirror is behave as symmetrical. Now just select the vertices. Now press delete, and from here you can delete the vertices, so you can see the inner of the sphere. Now just switch to the faces, and just If you want to select the loop, just select a single vertex and now press Alt. Now press left mouse button and the whole loop is selected, and now simply press F. It will fill the gap. Okay, perfect. Now the eye socket for our just you can see the bat is created, and the basic face of our just bat is also created. In next lecture we will create the nose and also little bit sculpting of our nose of our bat we will see in next lecture. So see you in next lecture.